And it's time for another basic beer review, a basic Imperial Stout review today. Because I was in Tesco and I got a few in the 4 for 3 range, and I thought, you know what, I've not had an Imperial Stout for quite some time, so let's get an Imperial Stout reviewed on the channel. And the one I picked up was from Brooklyn Brewery. It was a can of their black chocolate stout, 8.4% ABV, 440ml can. I think it was £4 something. It's about £4.50. This the Brooklyn beers are not that cheap in Tesco, I've got to say. But it's 4 for 3, so I did get one of my cans free. So let's have a see if this Imperial Stout is any good. Now I know there was a black chocolate stout that they've been brewing for quite a while, but as I understand it, it was 10%. This is 8.4%. Saying on the back that it's cocoa, espresso, and silky. So yeah. So let's have a think about, what do I want from an Imperial? When I have an Imperial Stout, what do I actually want from an Imperial Stout? I am looking for something that's velvety in the mouthfeel, almost oily. I want something nice and thick and just luscious, something with a bit of bitterness, a little bit of sweetness, coffee notes, chocolate notes, a little bit of nuttiness, nice roastiness in there as well. Some of the really good Imperial Stouts I've had, which they're going to be the yardsticks. Talking things like the Cloudwater, Persistence is Utile, that kind of thing. And I think I've had my continuous improvement as well. There was one that Vocation did, which was it's called 666, I think, or something like that. It was a coffee stout that they did, Imperial Stout, which I thought was really good. Obviously, the Dog range by Brewdog. Check out my Christmas episode from a couple of years ago to see my review of the Dog Eye. And that's the kind of beers that I'm looking for. Oh, and of course, the Bourbon County Stout. I've not had that for a long time because it's so hard to get hold of. But yeah, the Bourbon County Stout is just amazing. Quite possibly the best Imperial Stout that money can buy if you're lucky enough to be able to get hold of it. But we're not talking about that. We're talking about this one. We're talking about the Brooklyn Brewery Black Chocolate Stout. Now, I'm not expecting it to be as good as those really nice stouts, but you never know. We will find out in a minute. But let's stop waffling and get the can cracked open. So we're cracking open the can. Let's pour it into the glass. We're going to use this glass because it's a nice glass for Imperial Stouts. So looking at it, it looks quite nice. It looks quite thick, quite velvety. I put quite a bit in there. I was only going to put a little bit in, but a little bit of it's quite a small, quite a thin head there. Sliding down the glass quite nicely. Let's have a see. Let's have a see what kind of nose we're getting from this. So looking at the thing, it's absolutely jet black. You can't see anything through that at all. Let's get a nose on it. Not getting a huge amount through there. I am getting some chocolate in there. I'm getting a little bit of nuttiness. It's a little bit roasty. A teeny bit of coffee in there. And almost like plasters as well. Some of the little medicinal note in there. Almost tastes like, almost smells like kind of plasters. Which is a bit odd. But there you go. So there's the nose. Nose isn't exactly leaping out at me, but it's okay. There's a little bit of nuttiness. There's a little bit of coffee, bit of chocolate. Yep, the smells are all there. So let's dive in for the old taste. Here we go. Cheers. So it's got a decent finish, got a nice length to it. On the arrival, it's not giving me that kind of oiliness. It's not giving me that velvetiness. It's quite smooth. There's quite a bit of bitter dark chocolate in there. So we're getting a bitter dark chocolate. We're getting coffee, and it's got quite a nutty aftertaste. So the aftertaste, I'm getting kind of roasted hazelnuts. Oh yeah, definitely, yeah. Yeah, getting some, and walnuts really. A little bit like kind of that walnutsiness on the finish. Definitely. It's it's not bad. It's not got a massive depth of flavour to it. It's not as thick in the mouth as I possibly would like. You get a little bit of alcohol in the taste, which is giving it a little bit of a sharpness, other than just the bitterness as well of the dark chocolate. I think that takes away a bit of the body of the beer. Let's get a little bit more in. It's a little bit cooler than I would drink this normally. It's been out of the fridge for a bit, but I should probably have it a little bit warmer than this, really. You wouldn't know it was 8.4%. You think it was more like 7%. It does taste quite strong, but it doesn't taste 8.4% strong. I mean, over £4 a can. I would expect something a little bit better than this, but if it was in the £3.50 kind of range, then I'm thinking, yeah, that's, or £3 to £3.50 range. I'd say that's quite possibly, you're getting what you're paying for. But there's quite a lot of dark chocolate bitterness there. There is a little bit of coffee in there. There's nothing wrong with it. It's just not quite giving me what I really want from a really good Imperial Stout. And I just think I have an Imperial Stout to have something that's just thick and luscious and just creamy and velvety. That will take me quite a long time to sip. I'm paying quite a lot of money for it. I want it to last me quite a long time. This isn't going to last me that long. The body's a little bit thin. It's quite, dare I say, refreshing, which is not what you want from an Imperial Stout. As I say, I want it to be thick and velvety and just more luxurious than this. But having said that, it's all right. It's nice. It's quite nice. And really, you'll be heading up towards the £6 mark for a really decent Imperial Stout. So obviously at the £6 mark, I'd expect to get something which is what I am looking for. I wouldn't expect to get something that's quite so velvety and thick and luxurious at this price point. But I would expect something that's a little bit better than this. So yeah, I mean, I'd say it's a little bit, I'd say the price is a little bit steep. I mean, I'll have to double check. It might not have been over £4, but I think it was. Obviously, when you take the deal into consideration, it takes it down to the £3.50 mark. So I'd say if you buy 4 cans of these and they end up being like about £3 to £3.50 each, then I would say I'd say it's good for that price. You're getting what you're paying for. So I'd say at the deal, it's a good deal. It's a decent Imperial Stout. It's just, I just love a really good Imperial Stout. There's something like that Dog Eye just absolutely knocked my socks off. Of course, the Dog Eye was a lot more expensive. If they can just give something that's just half as luxurious as that at this kind of price point, then I would be a happy guy. This is not half as good as that. It's a little bit less than that. But yeah, 8.4%. It tastes more like 7. Maybe they could have got away with 7%. Something like the Naughty and Nice by Vocation, which is quite a nice, I think it's quite a nice Imperial Stout. Although I think that's gone down now. I'm not sure if that's 7 anymore. I think that's about 6 point something now. I might be wrong. But when that was in the 7s, I thought that was quite a nice Imperial Stout there. Things like the Storm Shadow by Buxton, that's going back a bit, and the Roaster Coaster by Brewdog and Evil Twin, that was quite a nice and smooth and a bit more luxurious. That's the kind of thing I'm talking about. This falls a little bit lower than that bar, I would say, but it's still a decent Imperial Stout. And if you use the deal at that kind of price, it's a good deal. It's a good price. There you go. My weighted opinion on it. It's a decent Imperial Stout. I would recommend getting it and see what you think. So there you go. It's not a disappointment by any means. Yeah, the flavours are all there. You're getting coffee, you're getting chocolate, you're getting a bit of toffee. Yeah, nice nutty finish. I say we're getting hazelnuts, we're getting walnuts. It's nice. It is a nice imperial stout, and that's all there is to it. Till next time, have a good one.